Have you ever played a tabletop RPG where your character was a recipe? Recipe on KMIYDISH Paper is a single-player game by Pierce Anderson about delicious food and the communities who prepare it. You'll play as sentient food that was originally created by your people, a cultural group living in a big city who is isolated from the majority population. This game is based upon the experiences of pre-World War II Jewish quarter residents in Eastern Europe. It is not subtle about that. This game is about the difficulties and the joys of a marginalized group and the importance of food to that group, and it is extremely well written. All you need to play is a space to write and draw, a way to listen to this Spotify playlist, and a couple hours of time. The first part of this game involves establishing the setting and culture. This game takes place in the fictional sister cities of Blue KMID and Rose KMID. The majority of the people in the sister cities are the ethnic group of the KMIYDISH, but your people are not KMIYDISH. So the first part in this game involves naming your people and summarizing a portion of their cultural identity. Next, we move on to the food. There are 4 recipe options: the pastry, the beverage, the preserve, and the meat. Each option includes some dishes and ingredients you can be inspired by, as well as some sample traits you can pick. It also asks you some questions about the creator of your recipe. Once you've created your dish, then you move to Act 1. There are 3 acts, and each follows a similar gameplay loop, so I'm just going to describe to you the loop that's in Act 1. First, you choose a chef from the Act 1 list. There's a bunch of them to choose from. This is the next person who obtains your recipe. One of my favorites is the wedding planner, a seductive and fiery event manager who uses a loyal catering team for idiosyncratic ends. Describe the wedding tradition they try to incorporate into each ceremony. How did you, the recipe, save an infamous marriage at the last minute? After choosing your chef, you describe them and also decide how they acquired you from your creator. Next, you choose an event from either the Could Be Better or the Could Be Worse table. An example from the Could Be Better table is: an essential ingredient is now rationed. What reason is the government giving for the rations, and what substitutes do the chefs make to you? Then from the Could Be Worse table, an unlikely alliance is formed between your people and a citywide guild. How does this alliance support both groups, and how did you help build their camaraderie? As the result of this event, there is a change. This could be to one of your traits, a world-building detail, a physical aspect, which is shown by a drawing you make of your food, or a response to one of your playbook questions. Next, you answer another one of your playbook questions, and then you describe how your chef passes you on or loses you. Finally, to wrap up the loop, you choose an option from Rest, which determines how much time has passed, and you listen to the corresponding song. Throughout the course of the game, your recipe goes through a ton of changes in the hands of different chefs, at the same time that your people are going through different events and changes. There is so much to love about this game, so here are some other things I wanted to shout out. The art is all by Eileen Erkin, and it is just absolutely lovely. There are fantastic world-building details scattered throughout the game that you can choose to use or choose to leave. There are helpful optional tables at the back of the game, including this one for religious rituals. There is an excellent list of recommended reading. And finally, there's a link to a recording of an entire actual play by the author in case you want to hear the game in action. Thank you to the designer and Exalted Funeral for sending me this copy. This game is fantastic, and I highly recommend you check it out. You can find it at Exalted Funeral.